Let's talk about seam allowances and guides on your sewing machine. So first off, you have a variety of guides here. Now this plate is marked in metric, which most of the world uses. So us in the United States, if this does not work for you, you can purchase from your local Husqvarna Viking dealer a Americanized throat plate that's got inches on it. But if you'll notice in your box, you had the straight stitch throat plate. Now this would be only for doing straight stitching, but you do have American markings of 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and so forth. But if you're okay with it, you could take a seam guide and from time to time figure out what seam allowance, let's say you're using a 5/8 seam allowance, line that up, and that's about the 15 millimeter marking on your throat plate. And then you can go ahead and follow along with your fabric along those guides. Another thing that is included with your machine is a seam guide. Now, right above this screw here and towards the back in the white area of the foot back here, there's a place where this seam guide will slide in. Now, it has a little resistance, not a lot. So that way when you slide it in, it's not going to bump each time you put your fabric up to it. This is nice because you can set it for the seam allowance you need and then just go ahead and sew. You're going to keep your eye over here and then it's going to keep you perfectly straight. The nice thing is there's times where you might need to be way out here, so it's further away from the markings that are actually on your throat plate. But if you're ever running like multiple rows of decorative stitches, multiple rows of straight stitches, you can go ahead and set that down, set that guide right on the previous row you just stitched, and now you'll have perfectly parallel lines as you go. Just keep your eye on the seam guide and not over here, and it'll work out perfect every single time. So whether you're doing hems or multiple rows of stitches, check out the multiple ways you can use the guides on the machine or the guide that comes with the machine.